Pokémon is many things. It's a card game, it's an anime, it's plushies, it's figurines, it's clothing, it's candy, it's an animal/slave abuse simulator 2000, and of course, it is the embodiment of all of your most disturbing and deepest sexual desires.
Smash. It's jutting its tits out. Look, it's got tits.
And apparently, it's also a game. Many in fact. And one of those is a mobile game called Pokémon Go. You might remember it from your neighbor Matt deciding to leave his house at one time in 2016. Or of course, from instant classics like this.
Have Pokemon go to the polls.
No.
So, in June of 2017, Niantic, the company behind the game, announces that they will be holding the first official Pokémon Go Fest in Grand Park, Chicago. Where Pokémon Go trainers, could gather from all over and catch new slaves and pit them against each other in arenas. So, basically the same thing they had been doing all along, but now in this designated area. Now, of course, there was more to it than that, because all attendees of the event could also expect special rewards. Timed catch challenges, mystery challenges, exclusive medals, increased spawn rates for ACGHIO unknowns, and region exclusive Heracross. But it's not just the attendees who could profit of the event, because there were also worldwide in-game bonuses for the entire Pokémon community that could be unlocked through the achievements of the people at the event. Neat. So, as you can see, this event was a pretty big deal. And of course, organizing an event of this size is not an easy task. But rest assured, the organizers came prepared. And they certainly weren't about to do the same mistakes some of the other more infamous events did. So, it's the day of the event. The park is prepared, the staff is ready, the weather is great, and the fans are hyped. This is going to be awesome. 9 AM. The event starts and people are being let in through the gates. But already, there's a little problem. Because to get into the park, you had to be wearing a chipped wristband that was sent to you upon ordering your tickets for the event. However, a lack of scanning machines meant that it was taking the staff a very long time to scan the wristbands, leading to very long wait times and enormous lines around the park stretching several blocks. The situation even got so bad that approximately 75% of the attendees still hadn't been let inside 2 hours after the event had kicked off. Now, that already is bad as it is, but the long wait times also meant that a lot of people would be missing out on the first time challenge of the day. Not very poggers if you ask me. But okay, now we can finally get in, right? Yes. However, when being let in, some of the people had their own medicine taken away from them because the security had been told to just confiscate people's drugs if they didn't have a doctor's note on them. Was that? You have a medical condition and need these meds to live? Nice try, junkie! So now we have lost the first few hours of the event and don't have our medicine. But hey, at least we're inside now and can finally catch some Pokemon, right?
Hey guys, I found a Heracross.
What? Where? What? Yeah, you see, there was another problem. The game wasn't running very well, which meant that every time you were trying to catch a Pokemon, the game would just fucking... Hey! Hey! Now, thankfully, this only affected some people, but the reason for that wasn't because it was a minor issue, but rather that everyone that wasn't affected by it simply couldn't log into the game in the first place.
We're only an hour in, and the service isn't working at all. So, hopefully, they figure it out.
Then we unlock our mystery challenge.
We can't get on. Fix our Wi-Fi.
Put things aside for the weekend, come down on the Saturday, wait in line, get in, and just nothing.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
So now basically 20,000 people had gathered in a park to play a game that wasn't even working. Nice. Now, to The main reason for this were network and connectivity issues due to the amount of people present at the event. Apparently, Niantic had asked the main network carriers to bring their own cows, but in the end, only Sprint, the sponsor of the event, obliged. So, it wasn't Niantic's fault. Or so you'd think. The reason the other companies didn't bring any cellular towers wasn't because they ditched the event, but rather that they didn't even need to bring them in the first place. They thought that the already existing infrastructure within the city should have been more than enough to deal with the event, and if what Verizon's saying is anything to go by, the game's problems weren't caused by overtaxed cell networks, but instead by the game's own servers, as other apps like YouTube were working just fine. So, it's Niantic's fault then. For the most part, yes. However, some people who had a deal with Sprint and Telecom reported that it worked a bit better for them, so ultimately, I don't really know. However, what I do know is that the people at the event were absolutely fuming.
Please help me welcome to the stage the CEO of Niantic, Mr. John Hanke.
We actually have so many people in the park today.
A lot of people.
Now we have a little bit of an
You
issue
can hear
connecting.
all of them yelling.
Challenge window trainers, so make sure you catch those last Pokemon so they count.
Now, Niantic at this point knows very well that the whole thing has been a complete failure and that there's nothing they can do to salvage it. And so, to save face, they tried to make it up to everyone who showed up for GoFest. First of all, everybody would be getting a $20 refund for their tickets and another $100 in Pokecoins that could be used in Pokemon Go. Apart from that, they also extended the spawn radius of rare and legendary Pokemon to a 2-mile radius outside the park, and extended all rare spawns and in-game bonuses for another 2 days. And to top it off, everybody who attended GoFest also automatically received the first legendary Pokemon Lugia for free. And with that, they quelled the frenzy, everybody was happy again, and everything ended on a good note. Psych, bitch! Yeah, right, as if. In reality, the efforts to please the attendees didn't bear much fruit, especially considering that the $20 refunds and the Pokecoins didn't mean anything anyway.
Fucking trash!
Most people who attended had spent much more than that on the event. Now, it is true that the admission tickets cost $20, however, they also sold out in under 10 minutes, forcing a lot of attendees to pay outrageous sums to scalpers on the secondary market. Also, a lot of people who attended the event weren't even from Chicago, or Illinois, or even America. There were even people who had traveled from Australia just to be able to catch imaginary animals on a mobile game. Amazing. But yeah, if you take these people's travel and accommodation costs into account, you can clearly see why some refunds and a free Lugia might not be cutting it. And so let's play the game What Happened Next? With today's contestant, Niantic. And you've got class action lawsuit. At the end, Niantic is forced to pay $1.5 million for reimbursements of travel expenses of more than 18,000 attendees. Which is really funny, especially because Niantic easily could have avoided all of this if they had just changed up the advertising a little bit.
Stupid!
And that's where the story ends. That is the story of the first Pokemon Go Fest. Albeit, it was a pretty shit story, but hey, at least the other ones were good.